No, 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 no. I'm just gonna respond without a comment here to post or a video because I don't really care what they have to say, and I'm not gonna give them air to breathe on my page. But I have white fatigue. Yeah, I said it. I have white fatigue. I am so fatigued of the history of fucking selfish, greedy white people. White fatigue is a thing, even coming from the white people. I am so fatigued by you fucks. White fatigue. Oh, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Hey guys, welcome back again to the channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking. When you saw this video, so you know how a lot of palm colored people came online to tell us how they are tired of black fatigue, how they all have black fatigue and all of that, calling out black community and how they are tired of them always calling them out and also demanding so much from them that they are all tired of black fatigue. Well, lots of their own people are now calling out the white fatigue in them, that they themselves have white fatigue. Well, I'm just going to let the videos roll, then I'll come back with the commentary. But I'd love to hear what you have to say about today's video and the whole white fatigue thing. Okay, let's have it in the comment section, and please consider subscribing if you have not already. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up as well, so that more and more people can see it. Credit to all creators on this video. So let's go watch, then I'll come back with the commentary.
A viral video of a white woman talking about black fatigue and how we don't need to give the black community reparations because we weren't around during slavery and neither were they. There were thousands of comments. This was going viral so quickly. Fully expecting to see people fighting her in the comment section. No, thousands of comments of white people, mostly. There was one Native American that was like, as a Native, thank you for saying this. I was like, what? There were so many white people in the comments saying, we're sick of this. Did they think that we were going to be silent for this long? You guys, those are war cries, if I've ever heard them. Thousands of white people in a comment section saying, did they really think we're going to be silent for this long? That's not good. And then I looked back, I saved the video. Literally, this was like 20 minutes ago. I saved the video and then I was going to reference it in this one, but it either has been taken down or she took it down herself. She deleted it. But I know that you guys have probably seen it because it had 500,000 views by the time that it was taken down. The problem is there were so many people in the comment section bold enough to say things like this. So let me say it to all the red hats out there and speak in your language. No one cares about your feelings. We need to talk about facts. And if you don't like the facts, you can go cry about it. Here are the facts. There's a thing called epigenetics. Whatever happens to your ancestors affects your mentality, your emotions, and your physical body for generations after generations after generations. It makes you ill. It makes you suffer emotional triggers that you wouldn't normally have if your ancestors did not go through those things. That is science. Now let's talk about history. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Does that ring a bell? Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you don't know what happened there and you're a red hat, let me tell you a little history lesson. The black community was crawling out of the shithole that we left them in. And they created amazing communities where everybody was working together and they had fabulous education and people had money. The United States government bombed their communities, bombed, literal bombs dropped. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That wasn't even reparations. They were doing this themselves, cultivating this themselves, trying to bring themselves up. Any community that was systematically used and abused by the rest of society needs reparations. That includes Native, don't even get me started on Native Americans. I have a whole thing that I think they deserve, which some of y'all might even think I'm crazy, but this is about the black community right now. Yes, they deserve reparations. They get the short end of the stick almost every single time. This is not just a white, blue-haired woman talking about this. These are facts. And again, facts over feelings, right? Facts over feelings. Even though I don't think this way, nobody that I know thinks this way. You guys have made it very clear in the comment section that a lot of you do. Reparations isn't going to fix everything. What we need is a systematic approach to cultivating generations of people so that they can finally get a leg up in a world that has chopped them off at the kneecaps and continues to chop them off at the kneecaps. Right now, in low-income areas, the government is not giving these counties money for their education systems. Taxes that a certain area pays, I don't know if a lot of people know this, you should, but the taxes that certain areas pay directly affects the type of schools they have. The community is underprivileged, they're going to be underserved, and it's not going to get better. That is how our system in the United States is set up, period. That right there needs to change. So I don't want to hear any other white people talking about black fatigue. You think you're fatigued? And I've seen the discourse on Black TikTok with them talking about black fatigue as well. They do make some points themselves. But again, white people, those are their points to make. You keep your mouth shut. I was blown away.
Hey, so breaking news. White people ain't shit. kind of felt like saying that. I mean, what do you really say after that? There's nothing to follow up. White people ain't shit. But it's true though, if you think about it. Like, what group of people is more racist than us, more hateful than us? What group of people do you know that started over 100 plus race massacres and have stripped everything from other groups of people of color, black people, however you want to categorize, and never pay it back, ever? I mean, take everything they own, properties, businesses, family. Use their like, lynch them and do unspeakable acts to them. Use their skin for shoes and wallets and belts and hats. Use their teeth to, to replace ours. Use their hair to stuff chairs and shit. Or take pictures of these lynchings and put them on postcards and send them across states or the U.S. to your family and friends as a way to joke and shit. Like, I just... made me sick, dude. I hate us. I do. I really hate us. I mean, just strip everything and not pay it back. And be so hateful and so spiteful to the point that we put literature in contracts, especially with these insurance companies, that will prevent us from having to pay these people back as long as we call them riots, not massacres. Like, there's nobody more hateful than us. Take. A little bit of violence, a lot of bit of violence sprinkled in. Take some more. Whether that's people's fucking property or people's inventions. White people love taking credit for shit they never invented, but a brother or sister did. And we pay nothing back. Or you one of the cool ones, so to speak, and you take from the culture, and you don't contribute nothing back. You're no different. You're no fucking different. Or the ones that get mad when people call white people out as a whole, like you get triggered or something, and you feel like you gotta defend the white race, put your white night suit on and shit. Like, maybe you should take inventory on what it is that makes you feel like you gotta take up for white folk when people speak on us as a whole. What have you done? What have you said? Why do you feel guilty? Why do you feel like you're targeted in this? Why is it someone like me can sit here and join in on conversations against white people and not feel offended one fucking bit, but people like you do feel offended? I don't know. Maybe because you did some shit and I ain't. I mean, I'm just saying. We just ain't shit. I don't know how else to say it. And then the way we excuse racism. That was just one bad day. That was a long time ago. Bitch, so? So? The fuck does that have to do with anything? Never atoned for it. Been ducking and dodging accountability since that incident. Pretty sure that wasn't the first time you said it. Ain't some shit you just pop off at the top of the mouth randomly. No, that's who you are. It's ingrained in your DNA. It's the shit you partake in behind closed doors. Motherfucker, I'm from the Bible Belt in a conservative household down here in the South. I know what dog whistles are. I know the conversations that take place behind closed doors, fam. Had a racist ass stepdaddy. Confederate shit and all. I know, bro. I see that shit. I cannot stand my people. I hate how fake we can be, too. We love to say we ain't racist because our friends black, one of the good ones that we like to call them, one of the ones that fall in line with how we think and how we feel and vote how we vote. But I'll be damned if you decide to change your way of thinking. See exactly where that gets you. You won't really see how we feel about you then. I hate our people. I really do. There's nobody like us. And nobody plays the victim card quite like white people. And you think that you can just wake up one day and decide to change your beliefs and be like, oh, I don't fuck with these racist crackers no more. I'm with y'all now. Hell no. Just like I told Trump people not too long ago, stay where the fuck you at. Stay over there. Keep your white hood energy over there. Just because you done dyed your shit red doesn't make you any less of a white hood than it was before, bro.
I can't say that I spend a lot of time hanging around racist white people, but I will say this. They will always find a way to make themselves out to be the victim. I had this one coworker in the past, let's just say her name was Barbara, okay? Barbara's this middle-aged white woman who has some racist views. One day, we've got a new girl, she's serving a table, it's full of like 8 bitchy Karens who are doing way too much. Basically, they just want to get their food for free. So they're sending everything back after they've already eaten half of it and saying like, oh, this was terrible. I didn't like this. I didn't like that, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I felt so bad for the new girl because she's like on the verge of tears. Like she is so flustered. These Karens are being so rude, so mean for no reason. Well, they would just want to get their food for free. I said something like, man, I hope that new girl doesn't think this is what all of our customers are like because they are not like that. Usually they're really nice. And this is like a one-off situation. And this is like her 3rd day at work and she's having to deal with this. I feel so bad. Barbara looks at me and goes, well, you know why that is. And I'm over here like, no, what? And she goes, it's because they're black. Immediately I shut it down and I'm like, this has absolutely nothing to do with race. That is wildly inappropriate to say. Like, I can't even tell you how many white tables I've had that have acted exactly like that and worse. I said, maybe it's because they're bitchy Karens who want their food for free, but it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that they're black. So I felt like I set the record straight. I felt like we had an understanding, right? Anyway, Barbara goes home earlier than the rest of us. She took that opportunity to go and run and tell HR that I was discriminating against her as a Wisconsinite. Now, let me tell you what really happened. Barbara thought I was going to go to HR and tell on her for being racist. So she thought, let me go to HR first and report Axel first. Because then, whenever Axel reports me for being racist, it's going to seem like he's just making it up. And he's just mad that I reported him. So now he's making up a bunch of bullshit. And it's just retaliation. Very sneaky, very sneaky. Oh, the racist whites will always do that, won't they? They will always try to turn themselves into the victim. I ended up getting suspended for a week without pay, okay? And I lived paycheck to paycheck at the time. So that they could do an investigation into me and interview a bunch of coworkers and see if I was discriminatory against Wisconsinites. The most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever heard. All because Miss Barbara couldn't take accountability when she was caught in the act being racist. Don't worry, I ended up getting her back. She ended up quitting because she was like super embarrassed by the end of all of this. So anyway, we got her back. I'm not going to go into all of that, but we got her back and she learned her lesson, okay? I ended up really like laying into her. But anyway, just to my point, I was thinking about that today and I was like, man, the lengths that these racist white people will go to rationalize and excuse their racism, to justify their racism, and to avoid taking accountability whenever they get caught in the act.
All of these white folk came out to really talk about the whole white fatigue. You know how a lot of them have been crying about, the whole black fatigue and all of that. So many of them came out online and start telling us about, white fatigue and how they all feel it, okay, so badly. So these people changed the whole term of black fatigue, which was coined out by a black woman, explaining the whole rate to the says that, a suction that the black community is facing, both in workplaces and all that. And after she had done that, white people decided to coin into their own words and calling it black fatigue. So people came out and said, okay, we also have white fatigue, right? We are tired of these people, okay? So let's check the comment section. So someone said white fatigue is felt by everyone on the planet, even other white folks, okay, like we have seen in the videos today, right? So someone said, I have white corporate America fatigue, where your co-workers constantly smiling in your face and completely diabolical behind the scenes to try to get you fired. I've seen a lot of people make videos, okay, complaining about this particular thing, right? Okay, so someone said, I was told not to show my emotions on my face because it intimidated a co-worker, even though she knew what I was mad about had nothing to do with her. Then they lied about me, cursing at a resident and fired me just like that. Okay, I'm all over black TikTok and never see the bros they talk about. They expose themselves. Okay, she didn't know that TikTok has an algorithm. It only shows the videos you like and search for. Okay, definitely. So this one said black fatigue is an actual thing, and I hate how they get to redefine words at random. The term black fatigue was coined by a black woman to describe the emotional and physical health impact of dealing with anti-black rage to the seas. We need to talk about the very real and research documented harm. Okay, I'm a white person with white fatigue. I can't imagine you all's exhaustion with us. Okay, I can imagine you all exhaustion with us, right? Anyway, I'm tired of the algorithm protecting them so they never hear the truth. Seasoning with air and imagination, using that from this points forward. Okay, 70% of white people, because it's a mostly white country, the percentage of people committing is, you know, higher with black. Shooting and, you know, in public places are in primary white either. Race doesn't play a role in one, and religious belief play a role in the either. Okay, white fatigue, as a white presenting Hispanic woman, I finally get how black people feel. Honestly, if I were black, I would have extreme white fatigue, because the cultures being stolen, the labor exported, and the excellence envied. Let's be real, black culture is American culture. The music, the food, the soul, the rhythm, the style, the power, that's why it's always been targeted. You all were never supposed to thrive here, and yet you did. You created beauty, joy, and resistance from absolutely nothing, and they knew you were magic. The truth is, the illusion that breaks the moment black people fully realize they have had the power all along. That's why we have to speak the truth loudly, clearly, and without flinching. Okay, that's how we check the power, and that's how we change everything. Don't let them keep you in a jar. The jar is now open. This is rhymes. And the 70% of those that are arrested are only the ones that are undeniable. What about the ones that slip in through the cracks? Our officers refuse to prosecute. Okay, we are the savages, yet we let you live amongst us daily. The sheer caucasity of it all. And someone responded, exactly as if their absolute lack of hygiene practices didn't spread the Black Plague, wiping out 30 to 50% of the European population. Some nerve, okay? And someone responded precisely 100%, okay? So he's responding to what this black brother was saying. Anyway, another person said, right, 100%. I've never commented on a white person's TikTok. We never search for them. White America, the culture for your black fatigue is to just ignore black people. The same way you ignore white people being racist towards black people and the black community. Just stop interjecting yourself into our spaces and conversation. The reason many of you won't be able to do this is because your white privileges makes you believe that you have a right to involve yourself with everything we do. It's not black fatigue. You are just fatigued by the existence of black people in general, okay? So let's take a look at what people responded. Someone said, it's like running into a burning house and then complaining about the flames being hot. Don't like us? Then just stay away. It's simple, but they don't get it, okay? Thank you. And also, they can say, but even if we ignore, we will be bothered by blacks because the majority of crimes against white people is done by other white people. The biggest, PPRs of a white married women in her own white husband. Okay, so sir, yours. Okay, I'm exhausting. Okay, I'm sick of us and I don't agree with us. I have preached this as much as I could. Since I was 8, okay, my mother integrated working at the grocery store, and they would say they don't want her touching their groceries. She would step aside because she was paid hourly. Oh my God, are you kidding? No black on black crime? You are a liar. There are more white crimes because there are more white people. Make it make sense. You can't. I don't blame other race. Why are you? I'm sick of the double standard. This is racist, okay? And another person say, am I allowed to have white fatigue as a white person? Because Lord have mercy, this is terrible, okay? Anyway, a lot of their own people have come out to call it out. You have people who are actually, like, there's nothing like white fatigue and this thing does not exist. You guys should stop calling us out. While you have people who are like, this does exist and we are tired of it, even as white people, right? But guys, let me know what you all think in the comment section. Let's have that conversation. Please consider subscribing if you have not already. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it, and credit to all creators on this video. See you all on my next. Bye guys.